Hey, and thank you for listening to Operation Agency Freedom, where we are bringing you top secret advice from the world's most badass digital agency owners. These amazing men and women are sharing their stories of how they have built six, seven, and eight-figure digital agencies and how you can too. My name is Chris Martinez, CEO of Dude, where we help digital agencies by giving them the people and the processes so they can take on more website and funnel projects and scale profitably. Today, I am joined by Dave Woodward, CRO and Business Development Officer of ClickFunnels. I'm sure everybody knows who ClickFunnels is, and hopefully you're a customer just like we've been for the past, I don't know, probably 6 years. Welcome to the show, Dave. Glad to have you on.
I'm so excited to be here. This will be a ton of fun.
Awesome, man. I know it was, we had to go through a couple of scheduling changes, and I know you're a busy guy, so I really appreciate you being on.
I'm excited to be here. This will be a lot of fun.
Cool, man. So, we always start off every show with what we call the roundtable discussion. And what we learned about you kind of when we were stalking you is that you're an adrenaline junkie. So I really want to talk about that. And why don't you start off talking about some of the things that you consider give you like an adrenaline rush? Because it can be different for everybody.
For me, it's anything that's fun, exciting, and challenging. So I've got 4 boys, a beautiful wife who gets drugged through a lot of this kind of crazy stuff. I don't care if it's bungee jumping off of bridges or skydiving or racing Formula One cars or anything at all that could be exciting and fun. And for me, it's all about the memories and experiences. I'm not a real big gift giver, but I
Right.
love doing things that are experiences that my boys are always going to remember. And
Cool.
so whatever it might be, sometimes it was, flying we went down to Mexico and actually worked in a little tiny medical facility for a weekend. And so that was a ton of fun. And, basically landed on these dirt runways with guys, sitting there with M16s on the side, just protecting the runways and
Yeah.
worrying about the drug cartel shooting us as we drove out and eat late in the evening, and anything at all that can be fun and exciting that my boys are going to remember. There'll be a lot of fun. That's what I love doing.
What would you say is like your top 3 memories that you've been able to experience with your kids?
One of them definitely, we went out, we moved up here to Boise, Idaho about 3 years ago. And so we were kind of exploring the area. We went out to the Pacific Northwest, drove out to Portland. And while we were out there, we passed this little tiny little community on the side, and they had all these little flyers of things to do. And one of those things was to go bridge jumping, bungee jumping off this crazy highest bridge in the United States. So we thought we'll go ahead and do that. And literally we ended up driving out into the middle of nowhere. I thought it was going to be some deliverance type of experience where we pulled up. There was really no signs. One sign just basically pointed, extreme bridge jumping this way. We walked down this wooded trail and literally just came across this open clearing, and there these 6 guys were with bungee jumps hooked up to an old railroad trestle bridge, 500 feet above the water, rushing down below, and decided, we're going to go for it. And my boys still talk about that to this day. It was just literally
How high was the bridge?
The bridge about 500 feet above the water.
Ooh, good God.
So yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, so like I've never done bungee jumping before. I don't know if I would. It's like not one of those things that's like on my bucket list, really. But I imagine that like walking up to that ledge has got to be like the biggest, like the scariest part of it, right?
Oh, for sure.
And then
For sure.
once you jump off, how long is the free fall and when you're actually like bouncing up and down? I mean,
It all
minutes?
depends on. This one was. It wasn't minutes. It's probably you go pretty fast.
Yeah.
I think it was a 300-foot bungee or something crazy thing like that. So you go pretty quick, and they were super cool to work with. They said, you know what, we're going to count to 3. If you don't jump, the floor just drops out from underneath you. So it's your choice. And so they literally count to 3 and you jump.
Nice. So I guess like my question is from when the time that you jump to the time that they put you in the boat or they bring you back up to the top of the bridge, how much time is that entire experience?
It's about 5 minutes. You
Wow.
bounce up and down quite a bit.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Awesome. All right, really quickly, what's the second and third most memorable experiences that you've had?
Racing Ferraris and Lamborghinis with my kids was definitely one of them.
That's awesome.
Another one I remember when I was, 15 or 16, I took my mom for Mother's Day skydiving, and that was a fun experience.
Was that her idea or your idea?
She'd always wanted to do it before she turned 40. And
Okay.
so she turned 40 that year, and I took her skydiving.
Wow. Where did you guys go?
We at the time lived up in Seattle area, so it was
Okay.
up in that area.
Wow. You've done quite a bit of moving then.
You know what? I grew up in Northern California. We were there for 5 years, and then I really kind of grew up in the Seattle area. Was
Okay.
there for 18 years. Went to school in Utah.
Hmm.
Was married my wife. We went down to Texas, started a business down there, and then took that business to California, where we were there for 20 years, and then we've been up here for the last 3.
Wow. All right. Well, like you work with ClickFunnels, obviously. You didn't always start out with ClickFunnels. We've been a user of ClickFunnels, I think, since like the beginning. And personally, I actually worked with Russell's company that he had, I think it was called .com Secrets,
Yeah.
back when he was doing internet marketing or like kind of coaching people in internet marketing. And I ended up hiring his company to teach me about driving traffic. And back in the day, it was all about like affiliate traffic and running really, really cheap banner ads and stuff like that. That was actually my introduction into internet marketing back in like, I think it was like 2009. It feels like, decades and decades ago.
That was eons ago. I remember those days.
Yeah. And so, like ClickFunnels kind of came upon the scene. Lead Pages was like already around, I think for probably a couple of years. And a friend of mine actually went to a conference. It might have been the GKIC summit or something like that. Came back and he was like, dude, I bought this thing. It's freaking awesome. You got to use it. And then we started trying it out. And this is back in 2015. So I don't know what year ClickFunnels started or launched.
September 2014.
Okay. So yeah, it was right around that time after ClickFunnels had launched, and we started using it, and we've been using it ever since. And, agencies, there's a lot of agencies that use it. It's a very quick and easy way to get up a landing page. So let's talk about your journey and how basically you said you had the business in Texas, you moved it to California. Was that an insurance business?
It was. Yep.
Okay. It was an insurance business. And how did you end up making the transition from insurance to now working for a software company?
So we ended up selling that company. And one of the things I actually loved the most about it was really the marketing. So early 2000s, I really started following a ton of Jay Abraham and then Dan Kennedy, really kind of getting into the whole direct response marketing. I set up my own marketing agency and was doing direct response marketing at that time for a lot of prior clients I'd known in the insurance industry, but also moved more to the other financial services, mortgages, health insurance, things in that area. And probably 2008, started our own mortgage company because we were generating so many leads with everybody else. And I just, I met just passionately in love with marketing, the psychology behind it, what it takes. Again, those are the old days where you actually had to spend money to send things in the mail. And so it was, every ad campaign was a lot more expensive than just a Facebook ad campaign is these days.
Absolutely.
So we got really good at understanding the psychology behind it, what it takes to get someone to open the mail. And then most importantly, actually, from the long sales letter to actually have them take some action.
Yeah.
And that was really what got me just fascinated with the idea of the potential of using the internet. 2008 is when I met Russell. I was trying to find out, how best to, it was primarily for my clients. I was trying to figure out how do we actually go from direct response marketing, mail type of stuff to this whole internet game. And attended an event where Russell was speaking. At the time, he basically was, again, kind of new to the game and said, hey, if any of you guys would like to take us out, take me out to lunch or dinner and pick my brain, love to, more than happy to. So I ran to the back and signed up for every breakfast, lunch, and dinner he had for the next 3 days. And we've just became really good friends. We did a couple of different internet projects over the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Some of them worked, some didn't. And then when ClickFunnels came around, I had a couple of other projects in real estate and marketing stuff I was still doing, but he extended the offer to come be a part of it. And I was all in from the very beginning. So it was super exciting.
Awesome. Were you a user of ClickFunnels prior to jumping on board and joining the team?
This was right when we first launched it. So,
okay, cool.
Yes and no. It was.
So you really have been there since day zero.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, what were some of the steepest learning curves for you, going from marketer slash running an insurance agency, financial services agency, to now being in a software business?
I think some of the main things, which again applies to other types of businesses, is really just scaling a business
Hmm.
and learning how to grow and build that type of business. Obviously, um, when we first started ClickFunnels, we all kind of had different sources of revenue that were coming in to help us. Uh, ClickFunnels wasn't making a bunch of money when we first started, so
Right.
Russell had .com Secrets still going. I had a couple of real estate things I was still doing. Todd
Hmm.
had some of his things still going, and each of us kind of had things. We very quickly realized if we're going to make this successful, we had to shut all that kind of stuff down. So we shut everything down on the side, and everybody focused 100% on building ClickFunnels. Webinars really became our number one opportunity. Russell was doing 2 to 3 webinars a day at times.
Yeah.
Really just that, and then live events. Again, you mentioned GKIC's super conference, and that we did their info summit, we did their super conference. We spoke at a ton of different live events, and that was really a great way for us to kind of expand and grow that. But for us, really, it came down to finding A players from the very beginning, and we were fortunate enough that Russell had been around the business a long time, had a great reputation. I think the part that really helped us really grow is the fact our customers actually became some of our very first support people. They were extremely passionate about the platform. And that passion bled into their desire to help and serve other people, and has really been the genesis of helping us grow to where we're at right now. Obviously, scaling from 5, 6, 7, 10 people to now 350 employees uh, comes with its challenges, but at the same time has really been, for me, has been one of the most fun, exciting things is you go from being the person who's out there doing it all yourselves and receiving a whole bunch of accolades, to then almost really kind of approaching more of the guide type of coaching type of thing amongst your employees, the people who are working for you,
Hmm.
trying to make sure that they're having success in their part of the business, which obviously then leads to success for the entire company.
Gotcha. Now, your role as the CRO, what does that entail?
Chief Revenue Officer, my primary focus is doing whatever it takes to bring revenue in. So it's kind of a weird situation. I'm responsible for top line revenue, but then also bottom line growth. So we look at a couple of main things we're obviously paying attention to is gross revenues, but profitability is probably the biggest thing we look at.
Hmm.
As a SaaS company, there's a rule of 40 that we're really pretty aware of on a regular basis, and all that is the percentage of your revenue growth and your percentage of your profits need to be 40% or greater. And so if you take a look, a lot of these large companies will have, massive, they're growing at, 150%, but they're losing,
Yeah.
50% revenue, and they still come out, 100% as far as the 40% rule goes. When you're taking on capital, that's fine. For us, we've never taken on any money. And
Right.
so we had to be profitable as well as grow revenue, which is a pretty tough situation to be in at times. So my primary focus right now is doing whatever we can to grow our revenue while at the same time making sure we're growing profits.
Now, we're in a very interesting time right now globally with this pandemic going on. How has that impacted you guys at ClickFunnels?
Oh, great question. I think for all of us, I think every business was impacted in some way. For us at the very beginning, we definitely saw a hit on our top end. We had just released a $1,500 a month coaching consulting program at Funnel Hacking Live.
Hmm.
Those were some of the people that probably got hit the hardest right out the bat, and so we saw a lot of churn in that segment.
Hmm.
At the same time, as that was early mid-March.
Yep.
April is where we really started seeing things start to turn around, where people outside of normal online businesses, a lot of our brick and mortar clients started running to us and trying to look for help and guidance. And so we've actually seen some of our fastest growth over the last 60 days. And we've been fortunate and blessed to being able to experience that. But most importantly, really being extremely blessed to be able to help others weather this crazy coronavirus storm that a lot of businesses have been going through.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the same for us. Like, there's the initial kind of like shock where, like, we had some of our agencies, because we only work with digital agencies here, dude. And so some of the digital agencies just went out of business like overnight. Like,
Yeah.
we had this one agency. Well, it's unfortunate because we had this one agency, and I remember speaking to the guy, and he sent me an email, but it's just one of those emails where you can just feel the emotion behind it. because he couldn't afford to pay. And he was in Hawaii. He worked exclusively with hotels. And
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know how
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to make payroll next month.
No, of
Right.
course.
And we had just this one project that we needed to wrap up for him basically. And then they were going to have to close up shop. And so, like some of those companies just went out of business right away. A lot of people were just like in complete like fear mode and didn't know what to do. And just
Mm-hmm.
like either, like weren't going to do anything or just started slashing everything possible. And then last month, like literally middle of last month, things started to move. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people just realized, hey, you know what? This thing's not going away. Like we have to figure out how we're going to survive in spite of this new reality that we're living in. And, people started to move and we ended up having a fantastic April, one of our best growth months as well. So
That's
it's really,
awesome.
really, really interesting, like just there's so much psychology behind
Oh, there's so much.
what's going on right now, because if you look at the statistics, just like the chances of you getting COVID-19, especially if you're staying home, and I'm not minimizing the severity of this, but if you look at the statistics, it's if you stay home, you're not going to get it. Like there's a very,
Yeah.
very small chance that you're going to get it. Now, if you do get it, it's a different story. Like we have friends who work at the hospitals here in Mexico, and it's bad. Like if you get intubated, basically, there's only a 30% chance that you're going to survive. And I don't know if that's how it is around the rest of the world. If you get it, it's definitely serious, and especially if you have to be intubated. But there's just so much emotion around it, right? And I think what a lot of people are realizing is that the easiest way that we're going to be able to succeed in this environment is by moving our business more online. And I can see that's how a product like ClickFunnels can come in and help you to continue to keep generating revenue.
Yeah, we've seen the same thing. What you experience is exactly what we see for a lot of our clients. There's the first initial fear fact of like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
Right.
What is the new norm? But very quickly people realize, you know what? I don't have control over this, but Chris, I got to do something, man. I got to figure this thing out. And those people who sit on the sidelines waiting are still sitting on the sidelines waiting and are seeing their businesses suffer. Others who said, you know what, I got to take the initiative here. Those are the ones we've seen have really capitalized on a really tough situation for a lot of people.
Yeah. Like in terms of the breakdown of your clients, do you know, or what's kind of like the breakdown between actual small business owners versus marketing agencies, ad agencies? Like what's the kind of like the segmentation of your clients?
Man, Chris, I wish I had a better answer for you on that. List segmentation is actually one of the things I'm really focused on this year. So hopefully in about 3 months, I'll be able to tell you exactly what everyone is. It's hard for us because we have a lot of people who will come in and they're more, what we find out about is what their side hustle is versus what they really want to do.
Gotcha.
Or what their current business is. And so it's hard to identify what a person's real business is. We've got, dentists and chiropractors who are coming in who, instead of wanting to focus on their dental and chiropractic business, I want to focus now on a coaching or an info product. I'm like, but what's your real business? So trying to identify a customer's actual business is one of the things we're trying to figure out as we go.
Gotcha. Now, on the marketing side, what are some of your big wins that you guys have put out there? Like I've never participated in like the One Funnel Away challenge, but it seems like that one's blown up. Like your affiliate program seems like it's been very, very successful for you guys. So like, what are some of the big wins that you've had on the marketing side?
Well, definitely our affiliate program, when we first started, was a huge win for us. Without that, it would have been really tough to grow the business. So that was a big one when we first got started. Recently, as you made mention, our One Funnel Away challenge has been a huge, huge win. Not only from the opportunity as far as, yes, it's $100. It's a quick win from an ROI on an ad spend. But more importantly, what we find is those people who actually participate in the One Funnel Away challenge, as we take a look at churn over 3 and 6 months, we find those who actually participate in the One Funnel Away challenge, their stick rate is 2 to 3 times higher than those people who don't. So we've seen it's decreased churn a ton. It's allowed, from our affiliate standpoint, we actually pay 100% CPA out on that. So we pay $100 that costs a person, we actually give to the affiliate. So we don't make money on it when an affiliate does it. Mm-hmm. Where we make money is those people are more inclined to stick and stay. And again, it all comes down to consumption. If we can get people to consume a product, their likelihood of sticking and staying is much greater. And so that's been a huge, huge win for us. Webinars have been a massive win. We find whenever we're running webinars on a regular basis, it's been a great way for people to get into the product, to stick. Again, for us, day 105 is a real critical ledge for us when I'm looking at retention.
What is that?
It's day 105. So it's a 14-day free trial.
Uh-huh.
So after 14-day free trial, what happens during that next 90 days? If we can get people to have success during that next 90 days, their stick rate is crazy and they just stay. So we're really trying to find different things we can do to increase the consumption of the product, get them in there, making sure our clients are having success in really in that first 90 days. Mm-hmm. We've got a new Funnel Flicks is something we rolled out. It's kind of like Netflix for entrepreneurs.
Okay.
It's been a huge, huge opportunity for, again, our clients to be able to get coaching and education, not only from us, but we've licensed Dan Kennedy's content. We've licensed Jay Abrahams, Tony Robbins, Gary White. Again, the list goes on and on. Frank Kern. I mean, we've licensed a lot of content for a person who's trying to figure this thing out, which they get for free at our $297 a month level. And the whole idea there is really to get people into it. We have a new initiative we're rolling out actually tomorrow, List Building Secrets, where we're actually just like Netflix, we're creating a content course every month, and then actually getting them to consume it over the next 3 weeks.
Gotcha. Now, this is a really good question a really good tip that I want to give to everybody on specifically retention, because retention is so unbelievably important right now. Like I was telling all of our clients last month, like April, you have to focus on retention. Like I know that you started this in March, but your main objective is to just basically stabilize everybody that you can. And we had strategies that we were rolling out to people with the amount of follow-up and creating a list of 20% of your bottom customers that you think that could churn in April, and all these things. A lot of that, like you mentioned, comes down to them feeling like they're getting success in the first 100 days. What are some of the metrics that you look at to determine what is successful? Like what is success for your clients within the first 100 days? Because that definitely ties into churn.
No, for sure. So some of the things we've seen is if they can get their own domain set up and linked to a funnel is a huge deal. Gotcha. So that way they know that, this is my domain. If we can I can tell you one of the biggest stick strategies for us is if we can actually get them to create a membership site, and it does not need to be, a 9-month, continuity piece, but literally just a membership site that hosts their content. Mm-hmm. The retention is insane just because all of a sudden they now have clients who rely on them to provide ongoing teaching and education through that membership site. So domain is one, SMTP, so they have the ability to email out, is another stick strategy for us. Another thing we take a look at is that first contact. As soon as they start generating leads and actually getting contacts. So those 3 or 4, some of the main things we pay attention to is trying to make sure they're getting that kind of success. Again, it doesn't necessarily need to be monetary success as much as it is progress within the actual software.
I mean, that's 100% accurate because like you mentioned, like a lot of your clients, it's a side hustle, so they're essentially also investing in their dream, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, and the vision that they have in their head outweighs the $97 or $297 a month that they're paying to you guys. But also, so our audience for this podcast are agency owners for the most part. And those 4 things that you identified are huge retention tactics or metrics that other agencies can look at as well. Because for example, like if you have an agency that's building out a website, for example, the clients that get those sites live faster retain their clients longer. It's amazing. The clients that generate a lead, even if it's just one lead, the clients that are able to then generate a lead from that website or landing page or whatever faster end up retaining those clients longer.
Absolutely agree.
100%. So yeah, those are all really, really great points for the retention side.
I can tell you one of the things you made mention as far as another win from us from a marketing standpoint, for us actually was just going through the onboarding. One of the things it's a 20-minute onboarding video that they watch. If they watch it, we basically send them out a t-shirt. It's a Funnel Hacker t-shirt.
Nice.
And that Funnel Hacker t-shirt, I remember talking with our CFO. He's like, Dave, these shirts are costing us a fortune. I'm like, I don't care, because it's they now feel like they're part of the community. They feel,
Yes.
again, I see you're wearing some of your swag, your dude hat and your dude mug, and those little tiny things, they're constant reminders to the clients that, oh my gosh, I'm a part of this. I belong to this. And people's and business owners need to feel like they belong it's just ingrained in them. And they want so bad these days to actually feel like they're a part of something. And so for us, being a part of the funnel hacking community, just even the t-shirts, has been a massive win.
Awesome, man. Well, I got one more question for you. So I know that Russell has a new book, Traffic Secrets. So this is the third, is it the third book in the series?
It is.
Now, I've read one of them, and I'll be honest, I was very skeptical because, and this is my inflated ego of how important I am or how smart I am. I'm like, what can I possibly learn from this? Like, they're like the people that are super into ClickFunnels. They're like you said, it's a side hustle. What can I possibly learn from this book? I listened to it on a plane. Dude, it was awesome. Like, I was taking notes the entire time. I was blown away at what I learned. And let me just see which one it was, because I have it on my phone here because I do the Audible.
It was probably Expert Secrets if it was that.
I think it was, it must have been the Expert Secrets one. Yep, Expert Secrets. So really, really good. And I'm waiting for him to do the Audible for the other ones, because that's how I consume most of my books. But yeah, so let's talk about this third book that he's got out, Traffic Secrets.
Yeah, so Traffic Secrets is the third. The first one was .com Secrets, second Expert Secrets, and now third one, Traffic Secrets. Actually, he's gone back, and when he wrote Traffic Secrets, he went back and rewrote .com Secrets and Expert Secrets, adding about 30,000 pages to both of those. So they're completely brand new books.
Wow.
And just, I think what you made mention of is really, anytime, one of Russell's gifts is the ability to take something very complex and simplify it in a way that is extremely consumable, and most importantly, things that people can take action on right away. And so Traffic Secrets, again, for us, for Russell, was a super hard book to write, because it needed to be something that was evergreen. It couldn't be, this is the tactic you use for.
Well, like back when I was with .com Secrets, it was all about affiliate traffic.
Yeah.
And buying cheap banner ads.
Traffic Secrets now it's an evergreen book. And then also there's 5 chapters that are specific to the current platforms, but they follow the pattern and the foundational principles that Russell taught in the earlier part of the book. So no matter what next platform comes out, or no matter what is the next chapter or thing that a person needs to do, you literally can take the evergreen principles that Russell teaches during Traffic Secrets and apply that to whatever the next platform is and still have success. So it's been just a great book. Today actually is the day that it goes live. It's published date today.
Oh, really?
And yeah, Cinco de Mayo is our publish date.
Nice.
So books are shipping out, and we've sold over 50,000 copies so far, and still on the road to keep growing.
So New York Times bestseller list, basically?
It depends. There's a total, again, their algorithm is kind of funky right now, especially with this whole coronavirus going on. It's books shipped and delivery. I don't know if we'll hit it or not. We'll see.
Now, from a revenue standpoint, what do these books end up translating in terms of revenue for ClickFunnels?
Great question. So for us, it's a lead gen tool.
Absolutely.
We've spent a ton of time really perfecting the book funnel. Our average book funnel in the past, we'd be average cart values of $30 to $35. We totally changed the way the new book funnels are written and the way the funnel structure is. And our average cart value right now is between 55 and 60. And it's just been killing it. So for us, it's a great way of not only of getting the ClickFunnels message out, but most importantly, of being able to acquire a customer. We can spend more. Again, it goes back to the whole Dan Kennedy's days of whoever can spend the most to acquire a customer is going to win the game.
Yeah.
So for us, we actually can spend a ton more just to even break even on the book funnel to then acquire the customers on the back end. And it's been a huge win for us.
What do you mean by the cart value is now $60? Is that like you guys do a free plus shipping and then there's upsells along the way?
Exactly right.
Okay.
Yep. So
that includes using ClickFunnels, the software, or are there other add-ons that you have in there? Oh, okay.
That software is not even involved in that piece of it. So it's $9.95 free plus shipping on the front end. $19.95 for international. It then goes to a $37 order form bump for the audio version. We actually ended up having a second order form bump, which is a $97 order form bump for people who wanted to actually, every time Russell has written a book, he teaches the concept first to a live audience. So there's a 3-day teaching so they can get that piece as well.
Gotcha.
The first OTO is the basically the Secrets trilogy. So they get .com Secrets, Expert Secrets, and Traffic Secrets. They can buy all 3 books as a box set. And with that, they get a 4th book called Unlock the Secrets. And the only way they get that is in the box set. And then we have a couple of order form bumps on that page. And then the second OTO is a software project we've done with Funnelytics, where they can actually use the software piece on there as well. So
awesome, man.
Gets our average cart value up to around $60.
Dude, that's amazing. Like, I love, well, first of all, thank you for sharing all of these secrets. Woodward secrets is what we're going to call it. No, thank you for sharing all this, because it's really, really interesting to see how you guys do this, because, you know, you've helped to scale this company from 0 to, I think it's $100 million. Is that 100?
We did 135 last year.
$135 million. That's insane. That's over 10 million bucks a month. How many users?
Just about 102,000 right now.
That's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I mean, thank you for letting us peek under the hood and see how you guys basically built this machine.
My pleasure.
Really, really interesting. Well, Dave, thanks so much for joining us today. What's the best way for people to get in contact with you?
Easiest thing probably is Instagram or Facebook. I'm on both of those channels. It's probably the easiest place to find me. Obviously, ClickFunnels is really easy as well.
Yeah. What's your Instagram, by the way? I'm going to add you.
Dave S. Woodward.
Dave S. Woodward. Awesome. And who would be the perfect person to reach out to you today?
For what?
Getting your knowledge. I don't know. Well, obviously you have the book. You have the book too.
I was going to say, honestly, you're
book.
probably better off not reaching out to me for that kind of stuff. The best thing I would say is go to trafficsecrets.com and actually buy the book. I think anyone, especially as an agency owner, Traffic Secrets is a great place to start. All of your clients are going to need Traffic Secrets. I'd say just go to trafficsecrets.com. You'll, if nothing else, walk through the funnel and you'll see a ton of just the steps and things that we talk about throughout the funnel you can actually learn and use for your clients.
Awesome, man. I'll definitely be picking up a copy of that today, since it's the official launch date. So awesome, Dave. Thanks again for being with us. To all of our listeners out there, thank you guys for tuning in today, and make sure that you return next Thursday and every Thursday for the next episode of Operation Agency Freedom. Thank you.